Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. And here's some eggs, meat, and cheese. How do you like the shirt? Hey, Brahim, how are you? And let's see. Mike, are you there? Andrea, how are you, Niagara Falls? Manette, how you doing? Sue, good morning to you. And there's Mike from Norland. Okay. Nativity, good morning to you. And Cecilia from Sudbury. Fran from Orangeville. And Wanda from Ridgeway. Nicole from our staff. Wendy from Markham. And Jeanette, our staff. Okay. All checking in this morning. Arlene and Jeanette, how are you? And Dave from Muskoka, and Wendy from London. Marilyn, how are you? And Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Yolande, how are you? Catherine, Parksville, British Columbia. Mary, Norwich. And Norma. And Sharon from Kansas. Kevin, Oshawa. Nellie, good morning. And Sherry, I want to sing, Sherry. You have no idea. Madeleine, Kippawa, bonjour. Rita, good morning. And Etta from New Brunswick. And Jeanette, how are you? Wanda. And Sue, good morning. Sandy from Vancouver, Washington. Cecilia from Shediac, New Brunswick. Veronica, good morning. And Margie, Kansas. Rosemary, Moncton. Marlene, good morning. And Carol from Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Marina. And Sue on Manitoulin Island. Maureen from British Columbia. Carol, West Virginia. Karen, good morning. Gary and Eget, good morning to you. Chantal, Ottawa, bonjour. And Cheryl, West Virginia. Dave, how are you? And Bruno, North Bay. Lise, New Brunswick. Two more. Mary, PEI, and Renee from Newfoundland. Okay, Catherine, how are you too? Okay, guys, let's finish up the questions from Monday. Okay? And here's one. Darlene, have you heard of Cultured Coconut? A company from Eastern Canada. No, it's a kefir type of probiotic. Do you think it's effective? Look, anytime you get fermented foods, do I like them? Yes. 100%. It's only good for you. Okay? Now, therapeutically, that's different. Okay? So let me just go into a couple of things that are important for review. Okay? Don't mind me, I'm just cleaning my glasses. I can hardly see out of them. Unreal. Okay? So let's talk about probiotics for a minute. And yes, you culture probiotic like a coconut or yogurt, whatever. Good for you. No problem. Probiotics are good. But therapeutically, there's a big difference. Okay? Now, number one, the best probiotic are soil-based. They're those type of probiotics you do not need to refrigerate, okay? So you have what we call, soil or dairy-based. You're going to have to refrigerate them, and that's all right, unless you're traveling or whatever. But soil-based, and if they're a high-quality probiotic, they're going to get past the stomach acid. Like your stomach is, it should be very acidic. So you need a quality probiotic to go past the stomach acid, and you want quantity, okay? Billions and billions and billions of bacteria, and you want them to be hardy in a sense that they can withstand the stomach acid. That's really important. Okay? Now, another thing about probiotics that are really important is strains. I talk to you about this all the time. Different strains do different things. So what we call a broad spectrum probiotic are a probiotic that has different strains in them. Okay? So from like acidophilus, you'll get in dairy. But what you want, like, and I talk about, and I can actually give you, I should actually post it up again. What different strains are known for, okay? And so if you want to get rid of yeast, for example, what about parasites? What about heavy metal? Well, acidophilus is all right, but you're not going to tackle a yeast or a fungal infection inside your body without the right strains. So they're like tribes. They do different things. They go to different places in your body. The intelligence of probiotics are incredible. And, again, broad spectrum, soil-based, and the studies on probiotics, it should be turning medicine on its head. It really should. Now, there are people that they're doing tremendous research, but to get medicine to, pay attention, not so easy. They're just not used to it. They're not, like you can hardly remind them of their Hippocratic oath. And Hippocrates said 2,000 years ago that all disease starts in the gut. Man, he was smart. And when a physician looks at, for example, any autoimmune disease, they're not thinking of your gut unless it's Crohn's. They're thinking, I got to give you a steroid or whatever. They're not thinking of the actual cause. So, guys, consistently for 40 years or more, I've been telling patients to take probiotics. And, like if you want to eat yogurt, as long as you're not adding any sugar to it, okay, I got no problem. It's dairy. I love yogurt. Okay? Well, I don't particularly like it. That's a taste. It's something, I used to, because women really went crazy over yogurt. Let's go back 25 years ago or whatever. And on my radio show, I used to comment about that. Because I said, well, why are you taking that? Well, because they used to have commercials for yogurt with belly dancers. This is really good for your belly. I said, well, look, you'd have to eat. I put up a probiotic pill. And I said, you would have to eat 16,000 yogurts. Those 4-ounce yogurts to get what is in one capsule, because this is a therapeutic thing. I used successfully for years and years and years probiotics in a therapeutic sense. Anybody with autoimmune, anybody with skin conditions, with yeast or fungus, we used to, look at that stuff under a microscope, and I said, you better get on a broad spectrum probiotic. And there was a time I would send them to a health food store or whatever, get a probiotic. And I said, man, oh man, like most of them weren't any good. So guess what? I developed my own, and that's me. So broad spectrum, probiotic, absolutely essential. If you want to have cultured coconut, I got no problem with it. But don't look at it as a therapeutic thing, because it's not therapeutic. If you have a condition, it's not going to be strong enough. But it's all right. It's still good for you. Okay? But therapeutically, no. It's not strong enough. Doesn't have enough active bacteria. Doesn't have enough strains. And it's not soil-based. Okay. Thanks for the question. Why do warts, after 5 decades of not having them, come back? Denise, well, look, they're viral. Okay, so, it could be a combination thing like leaky gut, possibly. It could be your immune system is compromised to some extent, and that can happen. Here's what I did with people with recurring. I loved oil of oregano right on them. Okay? Take drops, put them right on it. Take oil of oregano internally too. Okay? Very, very good. I liked, sometimes therapeutically I would put them on a vitamin A and certainly vitamin D. Okay? Thanks for the questions, Denise. Okay? Darlene asked about the coconut, cultured coconut. Lori, why does the medical field continue to say that too much protein is bad? That gives me a migraine. I just got a migraine. Okay. Laurie, I'll tell you, it goes back at least 50 years, probably longer than that. Okay? As long as I've been in the healthcare field, which is over 50 years now, okay? Yikes. That makes me old. As long as I've been in the healthcare field, medicine has cautioned people about protein. They don't know what they are talking about. Okay? And I know how they came to the conclusion was because they would see protein in the urine. You got protein in the urine. You're eating too much protein. You're eating too much steak. You're eating too many eggs. You're eating too much cheese. That's protein. Okay? And they didn't know what they were talking about, because when you get protein in the urine, you got stress on your kidneys, and stress on your kidneys comes from sugar, not protein. There's nothing that will destroy your kidneys faster than sugar. Ask a diabetic. They have sugar diabetes. That's what kills their kidneys. And they will have protein coming out in their urine, and it ain't protein. As a matter of fact, they're not eating enough protein. Because if they were eating enough protein, they'd never, ever, ever would become a diabetic. So that's what happened. And again, I bring you back, and I do it. I have to do it on every program. I bring you back to once something is cemented in the head of medicine, generally, you can't uncement it. Cholesterol, I rest my case. They got it in their craw. They got it in, it's It's pounded into them in medical school. And the pharmaceutical companies, they come at it and they reinforce it. And they sponsor the medical schools. They sponsor all the seminars. They sponsor all the research. And look, they do some good things. Okay. They do. But when it comes to, things that are cemented in, you just can't uncement it. And it's crazy, but that's what happens. And like I said, protein is the bad guy to people that don't know anything about nutrition. And in medical school, again, they leave nutrition to dietitians. And unfortunately, dietitians are poorly trained because they're trained, believe it or not, they're trained by the big food. Why do you think Cheerios has a heart on the box? How did that happen? Right in front of dietitians' eyes. Well, they're part of it. Fiber. Okay? So if you asked a dietitian today, what's more important? Okay? Fiber or protein? 99% of them would say fiber. Eat cereal instead of having bacon and eggs in the morning. Guys, you have to understand. Okay? Just understand. I got trained like that. I was trained like that. And I knew it was wrong right from the get-go. But I wasn't going to change it. I just wanted to get my degree. But I knew better. I was trained by my father and my grandfather before him. Okay? And I knew with diabetics and whatever, they needed protein. They didn't need carbs. They didn't need fiber. They needed protein. Protein is the king of the castle, and the carbs are dirty rascals. I had that in my head. I knew it to be true. I knew what insulin was, and I knew the response of insulin in the 1970s. And then since then, it's been cemented in my head. Because it's the truth, my friend. So, yeah, that's the history of it. Protein in the urine. Oh, you're eating too much protein. No, you're eating too much sugar and crappy carbohydrates. There's nothing that will kill your kidneys more than that. It's all about circulation. Okay? And circulation, sugar destroys blood vessels. Your body knows that, but the world out there doesn't know that. Because they've been duped. Duped. And when I wrote my book, Sun, Steak, and Steel, I meant it. The sun is not the boogeyman. Steak is the best food in the world that you can eat. Nothing better. There's nothing more nutritious. And put liver in there with it. They're just nothing. But they vilify red meat. They don't want you eating red meat. They want you weak. They want you flabby. They want you addicted. And look at the job they're doing. Look at our children today. Look at the amount of obesity. Look at the amount of diabetes. Look at the amount of chronic disease in our society today. We're not winning any wars, but really when you look at it, who's screaming about that? Child abuse. They would rather feed you. Listen, they would rather feed your children Pop-Tarts and Fruit Loops and Cheerios and Cocoa Puffs than give a kid bacon and eggs. That's how crazy, that's how unscientific the world has become. And I push back against it on a daily basis, as you know. Now, again, I'm not aiming at the world. I'm aiming at you. You know better. My audience knows better. And to the extent that you can influence people, go for it. But, you know, I'm glad you asked the question about protein. Oh, you could have, listen, 100 eggs, 100, and you won't get protein in your urine, okay? You won't. No, that's not how your kidneys work. That's not how Niagara Falls works, okay? The kidneys in your body. It's not how it works. They're destroyed by sugar. Okay? Thank you for the question. Sorry for the rant. And who asked that question? Lori, thank you. Colleen, another one on probiotics. What is the best way to give a 9-month-old probiotics? Well, listen, Colleen, if you're still breastfeeding, or maybe this is a question that you're asking for someone else, breastfeeding, mommy take the probiotics. And you can actually open up. I've done this with mamas. Said, open up a capsule of probiotic, put a little powder, just a touch of it on your breast. See, guys, we're not talking in your gut, okay? Even in a baby's gut. There's more than billions, there's trillions of bacteria, right? The war that goes on. Good, bad. Good, bad. Oh, they take an antibiotic. Oh, that kills the bad guys, but it kills the good guys too. It wipes it out. In 5 days, it wipes out that bacteria. That's not good. And yeah, it can save your life. And if a kid's got an infection, here's me, okay, with babies, here's me. Most of the time, their earaches are never, ever, ever bacterial. Oh, Dr. Martin, but I gave the baby, had an antibiotic and it got better. It was getting better anyways. And physicians who are up to date in their reading, they don't use antibiotics and they get a lot of pushback. But even the College of Physicians and Surgeons, every once in a while will come out and tell doctors, will you stop using antibiotics for viral? They got a cold. They got an ear infection, but it's viral. Unless you got pus, and I mean it, coming out the ears and big time. Look, they're viral. Treat the pain. And maybe a little bit of antihistamine. But anyway, all I'm saying, guys, is even the College of Physicians and Surgeons said, would you stop using antibiotics because now we got these superbugs. and they're resistant to antibiotics. Guys, that's a big problem. It's a huge problem today in our society. There's so much C. difficile. We're killing our immune system. And again, like I said, it's hard to get doctors to change their mind. It's hard because it's been cemented in. And parents, it's hard to get them to change their mind. Hey, a kid's got severe pain, earaches. Oh my word, that hurts. Poor little baby. I get it. And they demand an antibiotic. It's not really, it's viral. Anywho, for a baby, if now they are off the breast milk, open up a probiotic capsule and put it in a yogurt or like my son used to say, he said his kids, my grandchildren, they didn't know that applesauce wasn't brown. He said, because I used to put the probiotic in the applesauce and give it to the kids. Anyway, yeah, you figure it out, Mom or Grandma or whatever, okay? Colleen, what is the best way? Yeah, you can get probiotic into them, okay? I don't know if I did this or not. The other day, Jennifer was asking about gluteal, glutes. You know where your glutes is? It's your bum. Tendinopathy. Yeah, breakdown of tendons in the hips and the buttocks. Leave it to medicine to give a name like bum buttocks. Okay. Is there any benefit to taking the daily curcumin? Yeah, I like curcumin. It's very anti-inflammatory. Our inflammation formula is coming to a theater near you soon. Okay, so we're just waiting now, but apparently it's ready to go just about. And of course, I got curcumin in that with 7, 8 other anti-inflammatories. Yeah, and listen, gluteal tendinopathy, no fun. A lot of times you get, problems there, and yep, curcumin's a good anti-inflammatory. I love it. Anna, can you repair damage from medications to the body from taking Benadryl for allergies? See, Benadryl is something that, baby Benadryl or whatever, if the kid's got an ear infection. It's an antihistamine. You don't want that long term. And people take it. That'll destroy your microbiome. So, can you repair the damage? Yes, you can. Your body, you regenerate, guys. You get a brand new gut. Like, that's always regenerating as long as you're feeding it good bacteria. You want to replace the good guys. You want to get a new army in there of bacteria that is on your side. Okay? And yes, you can really change that. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. People have been on medications for years. Doesn't happen overnight. Stick with it. If I could just give you the amount of testimonies of people that have taken leaky gut seriously and eliminated the sugar in their diets and fed their body that good bacteria. And the testimonies on autoimmune, unbelievable how much better they do. And people that had major side effects from medication, How much better? Your body has the ability to regenerate big time, my friend. Big time. But a lot of people lose patience. Like it's just not going to happen. You can't fix leaky gut in a day. You just can't. You know? Yeah, things will get better in a month, but you got to stick to it. I've had cases of severe autoimmune, and it was after a year. I'd have to pump their tires up to keep going. I said, listen, it took you a long time to get where you're at. It's going to take some time to get you better. And I had to be a coach. I spent most of my time in my office days, in my practice days, pumping up tires, making people, stick to the plan. Rome wasn't built in a day. You've been on a destructive downslide for a long time. Okay? You can do it. Guys, I think I answered all the questions. See, we just never get through Friday without going to Monday. I don't know if that's going to be forever. But guys, look, I know I get off on tangent. I don't want to give you a short answer when I want to pontificate. Okay? That's me. You know what? Can you imagine? I used to have a radio show. I only had a half hour. And people would wait on the line to get to me, and here I was pontificating. Sometimes we'd only get to 1 or 2 calls, okay? Just because, I wanted to explain things. I sort of see myself as a teacher. And in my opinion, okay, I'm a rinse and repeat guy. And I like to tell stories. Okay, guys, we love you so much. We have no idea. Tony Jr. and I were talking about our audience, and, the 4 million, over 4 million downloads on the Doctor Is In podcast. You watch us on Facebook, okay? And online with the, on your smart device with the Doctors In. We appreciate it more than you know. Okay, guys, we love you dearly. We'll talk to you soon.